Alhamdulillah wa shukrullah wa salatu wa salamu ala man wala wa alihi wa sahbihi wa man tala. So inshallah this section, my dear brothers and sisters, is actually for the parents. Because believe it or not, I get to spend a lot of time with your kids. But I actually don't get to spend enough time with the parents. And subhanAllah, you'll be quite shocked that one of the number one questions that I get from your kids is that, Ustad, this is all well and good, but this is not what I see in my house. Ustad, this is all well and good, but this is not what I hear from my mom. Ustad, this is well and good, but this is not what I see my dad doing. So my dear Muslim brothers and sisters that are here, that are adults, this is actually for you. I wanted to speak about someone in our history, one of the greatest Sahabi of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His name, he was also from among the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And not only was he in the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and one of the great Sahabi, he was one of the greatest, arguably, among the Sahaba. And so, his name was Ali radiallahu anhu. And I just wanted to share this one piece of advice with the parents because I think it brings together a lot of things that I would like to speak to you about. Ali radiallahu anhu, who were his children? What was the status of his children? You know, his children were called Sayyida Shababi Ahl al-Jannah. Do you know what this means in English? Sayyida Shababi Ahl al-Jannah means that his kids, right? You guys want your kids to get good grades. You want them to become good Muslims. You want them to become... They got the title at birth. They are the best among the children of Jannah. They got this title when they were kids. Now imagine, you as a parent get given this title. Your children get given this title when you were born, when they were born. Would you go back and do some effort on them? You'd be like, man, I'm guaranteed that my kids are going to be not just kids in Jannah. They're going to be the best kids in Jannah. And what did Ali radiallahu anhu do to thank Allah for this? His children were, Hassan and Hussein were the leaders among the youth of Jannah. Their Jannah is guaranteed when they were in the cradle. Yet, look at the effort of Iman that he made. Ali radiallahu anhu and Fatima radiallahu anhu, the mother and the father. Ali radiallahu anhu got stabbed at the end of his life. He was stabbed. And this wound was so deep that this father was going to pass away. Do you know what advice he gave to his children before he left? He writes a wasiyat nama. He leaves behind advices for his children. He addresses Hassan and Hussein, who were little kids. Look at the advice that he gives them. Ya bunayya, ahyi qalbaka bil maw'adha. Oh my beloved sons, enliven your heart, give life to your heart with Quran. وَنَوِّرْهُ بِالْحِكْمَةِ. Illuminate your heart with the wisdom of the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So far Quran and Sunnah. وَقَوِّهِ بِالزُّهْد. Strengthen your heart by abstaining from the things of this world. Don't stop by just having one chocolate. Don't stop by just having the whole thing. Maybe share it around with the other kids. Maybe only take one and give away the 100. This is called zuhd. This is called abstinence. Take from the world that which you need and leave the rest. You know, when we have the pizzas, one of the tests I told the kids is that when you see 10 flavors in front of you, you only take one slice of one flavor and you sit down and you eat it quietly until you finish it. You don't look at the other slices. The ones with the pineapples, and the ones with the meat, and then the ones with the vegetables, and then the ones with the chocolates. No. Zuhd means that you need to teach your children this. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I am going to repeat this 3 times. Please do not spoil your kids. Please do not spoil your kids. Please do not spoil your kids by giving them everything that they want. You are teaching them one day they're going to be employees of someone else. Guess what? Their boss is not going to give them everything they want. Do not spoil your kids. Trust me, when I started with kids some 10 years ago, teaching them, I would hear the children arguing with their mother, arguing with their father outside the place that I was teaching. I could hear them. Mom, I don't want to be here. Dad, I don't want to be here. And I was hearing that. And subhanAllah, 2, 3, 4 months down the track, those same kids are arguing with their mother and father, asking to be sent here. I didn't do anything except teach them what Rasulullah ﷺ taught the Sahaba, and I spent quality time with them. And this is the same thing I ask of you. Spend good quality time with them, one-on-one, without screens, without music, without sources that you don't need in your life, human to human. And so, Ali radiallahu anh is advising his children with the Quran, with the ahadith, and this quality time. And to not spoil them by teaching them zuhd, abstinence from this world. He continues, وَزِلِّلْهُ فِي الْمَوْتِ. He is telling his little children that are not able to fathom much. He is telling them that remember death. Remember death. You know, some people speak to me and they say we need to have age-appropriate content. Do you think death is age-appropriate? When a child dies, when an old person dies, do you think they get asked before they die? Even children know, my granddad is dead. My grandmother is dead. What about your mother's mother? Are they dead? They're dead. They know. They know this. So we need to teach them, and how do we teach them? We need to take them to the graveyards. You know, our mothers and our fathers? Our mothers and our fathers are here, and our mothers and fathers may be alive. But their mothers and fathers might be gone. And their mothers and fathers might be gone. The best way to teach your children to make dua for you is that you go and make dua for your parents. And show them that. This will speak louder than any words I can teach your children. This will speak much louder. These actions will speak much louder than any words that I can teach them. If you show them by taking them to the graveyard and making dua for those people that subhanallah have passed away. Whether it be in your family, whether it be in someone else's family. Find someone in the graveyard that's a Muslim that you know and just go to their grave. This will teach them more than anything that we can teach them here. These actions. And subhanallah, Ali radiallahu anh continues. It's he said, قَرِّرْهُ فِي الْفَنَا. Every day, get your heart to attest that I am going to die. I am going to die. I am going to die. وَحَذِّرْهُ فِي وُصُولِ الدَّارِ وَتَقَلُّبُ الْأَيَالِ وَالْأَيَانِ. Remind yourself of the bewafai, that your real companion is not this life. The real companion that you have is your a'mal. So let's ask a question here. Children, maybe you can help your parents out with this one. When you are in the grave is shut. Someone walks into your grave. Someone walks into your grave at a time where your parents are not there, your wife is not there, your husband is not there, your children are not there, your fathers are not there, your grandfathers are not there in the grave, but there's one person that walks into your grave. Who is this person? My dear parents, I want you to look at these hands going up. Isa. Munkar and Nakir are the angels, true. They ask you some questions, true. But someone other than the angels walks into the grave. Who is this? Nope. Put up your hand, guys. Don't call out. Yes. Huh? Yes. Who? Us? Nope. You're alone in your grave. Yes. Malik al-Maut is already gone. He's taken out your soul. You're in the grave. Yes. Exactly. Very, very good. Guys, there is a human being looking person that walks into the grave, and this represents, you ask him, he smells so nice, and he looks so nice, and he sits down and he talks to you. And at that time in the grave, everyone left you. But this person comes down and he smells beautiful, he sits down, he talks to you, and he fixes your bed and he puts you to sleep. So you ask this person, who are you? You don't take the shape of my mother, or my father, or my brother, or my son, or my daughter. Who are you? And the person says, I am your good deeds in human form. And the same thing happens, my dear brothers and sisters, when a person comes into the grave and they smell very foul. They look evil. You detest them before you even sit with them. They sit right next to you and you don't want to talk to them. And the person whispers in your ear and says, I am the representation of your bad deeds. So my dear brothers and sisters, these lessons we need to teach our children before the time of their graves come. And subhanAllah, the grave and the day of judgment and Jannah and Jahannam, don't be fearful of these topics. Teach them. Speak to them about it. Sir fi diyarihim. Fanzur fi atharihim. Present in front of yourselves the eventual outcome of the wealthy people of the past. You know, sometimes we have wealthy people that pass away before us. They're rich. We're trying to get rich, but they're already rich. They pass away. What do they leave behind? Today, their palaces are gone. You walk in the graveyards, you realize that grave is huge. It's got a whole building, but there's only one soul inside it. They were able to build an empire, but they didn't take that empire. This is the lessons that we need to teach these kids. And my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, these are some of the advices that Ali radiallahu anh said to his two sons. And mashallah, his two sons became Hassan and Hussein radiallahu anh, that achieved amazing things in their lifetime. And they became deserving of the name Sayyida Shababi Ahlul Jannah. And inshallah ta'ala, if you take away nothing from this talk, I want you to take away, my dear brothers and sisters, that you need to lead by example. When I ask your children, who is your hero? They say, my father. My mother is my hero. And subhanallah, you need to understand that these children are watching every move that you make. They don't consider their ustad. They don't consider other people. They love and cherish you. And they want your time. So inshallah ta'ala, with that, I've been informed that, mashallah, the food is going to be here very soon. One thing I just wanted to outline to you, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, is that we need help. We can't do this all by ourselves. The brothers have mentioned about the education committee. The brothers have mentioned about Umrah. There's many people that have come together. I want to ask you a question, and this question is directed to the parents. Many of you may have full-time jobs. I want you to tell me, how much would you take a job, honestly speaking, would you take a job that starts at 6 p.m. at night and finishes at 8 p.m. at night, only pays you about $20 to $30 an hour? I want you to be honest. Would you take this job? Why? Because number one, it's not full-time hours. Number two, I don't get paid enough. Number three, it's a sacrifice for me to not be home and eating a good meal at that time. I now need to leave my home and go outside and teach a bunch of kids. When your children see the sacrifice that you make in your lives, they will want to sacrifice in their lives. And trust me when I say this, when you become old, when your bones are aching, and you are unable to move to get a glass of water, these children will sacrifice their own good time with their own families to be with you. But you know who they learn it from? Yes, the Prophet ﷺ is there. Yes, Islam is there. But they learn it above all from what you did with your parents and what you showed them when you were in your youth. This is what they'll learn from. So inshallah ta'ala, with that, we'll finish this small maw'adha. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.